Now then, YouTube, it's me again, Yorkshire Lad, with another video. Hello, welcome if you know I'm Wayne, Yorkshire Lad. Pleased to meet you. Thank you so much for dropping by. Usual suspects, click that notification bell, please. That'll let me know when I upload. Like, comment, share, subscribe. To usual suspects. And like I said, subscribe. It don't cost you nothing. I don't get out for nothing now, does that? Now, I've got another bargains. Some of my best bargain video. Well, some of my best bargains. What I got over years. So without further ado, better crack on. Right. Now, when I was a kid, I was a bit of a wheelie dealer, and I used to do stuff to get a bit of pocket money, like I used to walk people's dogs when I was growing up to get a bit of pocket money, or get coiling to get a bit of pocket money, helping some at neighbours out and that, when old Coil Man used to deliver coil. Or help out with a bit of gardening or stuff like that. And used to make a bit of money, and then it'll go towards buying some Star Wars figures or whatever at Christmas or whatever. I used to take pop bottles back when I could take pop bottles back and get money back on pop bottles for some sweets and stuff like that. Anyway, so like I used to, like at school, play top trumps, but I used to play for a bit of pocket money, few pence and that. So anyway, so when I started, obviously left school and that, obviously you get a job, don't you? Start getting a bit of money, and then you've got a bit of extra money. So what I used to do is, I used to be like interested in like obviously music, so I used to collect obviously records and that, and I used to like collecting old music centres and stacker systems, you know, silver ones that you used to see in early 80s and late 70s and that. You used to go to this like second-hand shop at bottom end of my town, and you used to have all sorts in there that could get old, and it was pretty cheap as well. Anyway, I once bought this music centre, I think it from about 1981. I think I paid a tenner for it. And it just wanted a new stylus and a belt. So I got it fixed. It cost me about a £5 for new stylus and belt. Anyway, and I cleaned it all up and that. I think I paid a tenner for it. And I sold it for 40 quid. And then I got another, like a separate system, but it was like, you know, when you used to see them metal ones. Like you had obviously like amp, then you had tape deck, and then radio, and then you had graphic equalizer that you used to move up and down. I once picked one of them up from same shop for 15 quid, and cleaned it up. The tape heads were mucky and that, so I cleaned it up and cleaned it all down, got it nice and shiny and that. And I sold that for 75 quid. And then I managed to pick up like one of them old, remember them old little portable tellies with radio? Them with probably like 5-inch screens, whatever. It used to be like on a bit of a stand. I picked one of them up for like a £5. Anyway, I cleaned it all up. I got somebody to check it over and make sure it were all right anyway. So he charged me another like £5, so it cost me a tenner with getting it checked over and that. Anyway, I sold that for like 25 quid. And then I got one of them, like a little portable telly, like an Andelden that you used to walk around with radio and that, and then you used to have massive aerial. I picked one of them up for like a tenner in box. I think it was a Casio or something like that. And like I say, I got it checked out and that anyway. So that cost me another like £5. So I sold it, got it cleaned up and everything. And I sold that for about 40 quid. So, yeah. So I've always been a bit of a wheeler dealer. I mean, I bought my mates, I think it was JVC. Was it JVC or Pioneer? I think it was Pioneer. No, Technics. Technics separate system. I bought that off him for a tenner. And I think he paid about 400-500 quid for it, but he wanted money because he was a bit short. So I bought it off him for a tenner. I've still got it now. It's upstairs in bedroom. I'm going to have to dig it down and get it set up and that, see if it still works and get a good clean. But yeah, that one at top at Rangens, I think it was about 500 quid, probably late 80s, probably early 90s. And I bought it off him for a tenner. I'm not selling it. It's a beauty and all. I managed to pick up a Rotel lamp from that charity shop down bottom end of town. I think I paid a tenner for it. I've still got it now. And when I got it all cleaned and everything, and my mate offered me 60 quid for it, and I says, no, I'm not selling it. And he went as much as 120 quid, and I won't sell it. And I think I've still got it. Yeah, I've still got it now, should I say. It's even got booklet with it. So, but yeah, it's just things like that. I mean, bit of wheeling and dealing, I can't beat it. So there were some of my best bargains on music and like electrical front and that. So, I once bought an Atari ST. I think it was 20 quid, you know, with box and so many like cartridges, games. Cleaned that up and I sold that for 70 quid. So, yeah. Yeah, so but they were good old days when you could get stuff pretty cheap and make a bit on it. Not now, it's like pulling hen's teeth. So, yep, so I thought that's another one just to... So, there's still bargains out there. It's just doing some digging and you might drop on. Who knows? Right, I'm going to leave it there. So, until next time, that knows what I'm going to say. Stay safe, take care, stay lucky, keep persevering, and you may drop on and it may happen. And until next time, that knows what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it with. Right, that'll do for us. 1, 2, 3. I'll say the... Thank you very much.